morning, YouTube. I've been kind of dealing with this quarantine thing, like haven't left the house. I forget what day it is. Today, we're going to talk about a kingdom song. Of course we are. Today's kingdom song is rather a jaunty march. You'll like it. It's fun. As much fun as a kingdom melody can be, which isn't much. You know what? Never mind. It's got a few problems though, don't they all? But it's not the worst one they ever wrote. I mean, it really could be worse. Well, anyway, this song debuted in the 1984 songbook as number 169. In 2009, it was song number 28, and in 2017, it was song number 62. There have been a few changes to the song, but the melody does remain the same. If anything, you would think they could lower it an octave or two, but no. They enjoy torturing us all with strange melodies and keys that only dogs can hear. This song is called The New Song, but it's totally not new. Now, before we really get started here, I want to read you the scriptural reference for this song. It is Psalm 98 verse 1, which in the King James Version, the real Bible, it says, "Oh, sing unto the Lord a new song, for he hath done marvelous things. His right hand and his holy arm hath gotten him the victory." Okay. Look, I know this sounds really immature, but given the Jehovah's Witness obsession with certain solo activities, self-abuse, spanking the monkey, dating Rosie Palmer, am I the only one who finds this hilarious? Singing a song about his right hand and his holy arm, I can't help it. I think maybe I need to get out more. Sing to God the Lord a song of gladness that is new. Tell of all the great things he's done and yet will do. God the Lord? What? Wait, I thought it was usually Christ the Lord, isn't it? Jehovah's Witnesses don't believe in the divinity of Jesus, after all, so this was either an Easter egg by some devious apostate on some songwriting committee somewhere, or it was a mistake. Sure enough, in 2009, this was changed to "Sing to God a song of praise that's bold and new." Speaking of new, though, do they mean the song is new or the gladness and praise are new? And how are we supposed to tell all the great things he's going to do? Because I thought fortune telling was definitely a no-no. Also, isn't it just a little weird that we absolutely have to sing mandatory songs to God? It's not like we live in a Broadway musical where that type of thing's normal, after all. Or maybe we do, and we're just the extras walking by and not main characters? Could you see Armageddon actually turning out to be a dance-off? Oh, or maybe an epic rap battle? Oh man, Toni Morris sure would be disappointed. Praise his holy arm and his right hand for victory. In the sight of all men, he has judged righteously. They praise the weirdest things. For real. Like, they've made a huge deal out of the fact that this dude has a name. And that's what they're usually running on about. But now they're praising his arm, for crying out loud. What's so great about his arm? Why not his kneecap? I don't get it. Good boy. All praise Carson's paw. Carson's paw is the best. So, what is so great about his right arm and his right hand? As opposed to the left arm and left hand, unless my earlier immature theory was correct, and victory is a euphemism for never mind. In 2009, his holy arm became mighty instead, and they removed the reference to his right hand and just said he is the God of victory. So maybe I'm not the only one who made Rosie Palmer jokes here. Maybe. Now, the second line is also kind of weird. They're saying that God has judged righteously, as if that's a surprise somehow. I also wonder about the phrase "in the sight of all men," as if that makes some kind of difference. Does it? If a tree falls in the forest, if nobody's watching, will God perhaps judge unrighteously? What about his spirit-directed but not inspired governing body, or their spirit-directed but not inspired elders? This line was also changed in 2009 to "in the cause of justice, he judges righteously." This just brings up more questions. What if he's making judgments that aren't in the cause of justice, say which kingdom melody is the best. Would he then be able to judge less righteously? Righteous, man. Here comes the chorus. Sing, 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 loud let the new song ring. Sing, 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 Jehovah now is King. Sing, damn you. Sing as loud as you can. Louder! Did y'all ever have an overzealous elder or circuit overseer make the congregation sing the closing song again because he didn't think y'all sang loud enough? We did. It was torture. In 2009, they changed loud let the new song ring to the new song let it ring. This really wasn't an improvement since it's still grammatically ass backwards, but at least maybe they've finally decided we're loud enough. I don't know. They also changed Jehovah now is King to Jehovah is our King. But wait a minute. Haven't they said repeatedly in other songs that Jesus is the King? I mean, which is it, Watchtower? Is Jehovah the King or is it Jesus? Is Jesus the Lord or is it Jehovah? And who the hell is Michael the Archangel?
That's Jesus.
No, it isn't. This religion is so confusing. Make a joyous shout to God Jehovah, all the earth. Sing to God your praises with jubilance and mirth. Witness grammar strikes again. What does this even mean? It seems like they're commanding all the earth to make a joyous shout, right? Okay, but what if you're not really feeling particularly joyous that day? Are we just supposed to fake it? Are they saying, though, that the actual planet, like the dirt and rocks and stuff, are expected to shout joyously to Jehovah? I mean, how does that work? The planet doesn't even have vocal cords. To be jubilant is to express great happiness and triumph. I don't know, but I think in order to feel jubilant, there has to be a reason or a cause. And the cause here is what? Jehovah? His right arm? His victory over something? Which doesn't mean much because he is supposedly almighty. So of course he won whatever. This shouldn't exactly be a surprise, should it? And why? Why should these things make us so freaking happy that we have to burst into song? I don't understand. What about the mirth? Mirth is defined as amusement, especially as expressed in laughter. Well, I mean, kingdom melodies do cause mirth, but probably not the kind they're expecting here. Why, though, would Jehovah be a cause for laughter? What exactly are we supposed to find funny here? Wait, I do know the answer to that. But isn't mocking God sort of discouraged? I mean, God, this religion is so confusing. In 2009, these lines were changed to make a joyful shout, a joyful cry to God our King, laud his name, give honor, a joyful anthem sing. Yay! Huzzah! I didn't know they were allowing Jehovah's Witnesses to sing anthems now. That was like strictly forbidden in my day. Praise Jehovah God, yes, sing aloud before the Lord. Harp and horn and trumpet sound praise in full accord. In 2009, the first part of this line was changed so that instead of praising Jehovah God, we are now told to join the mighty throng and sing aloud before the Lord. Emphasis on numbers and strength now. Typical Watchtower. You know, the Accord was a good service car though. Compact, good gas mileage, but 4 doors. You could cram 5 pioneers in there if you put their book bags in the trunk. I don't know where we're supposed to put the harps and horns and trumpets though. Also, some Jehovah's Witnesses were allowed to have music lessons and some definitely weren't. Often we were allowed to take piano, back when they still had pianos in the kingdom halls, and someone had to play the music for the meetings. And brothers might be allowed to play guitar, but harps and horns and trumpets were kind of frowned upon. I mean, it was one of those things that was generally considered a conscience matter, meaning you could take lessons without punishment, but it might be a sign of spiritual weakness if your service hours weren't exemplary. And really, where were you going to use this? If your plan wasn't to go to Bethel and be part of the recording of the Kingdom Melody records, tapes, CDs, whatever, because that was really the only option for ever playing those instruments. Worldly music wasn't an option. You couldn't play in a band. And if you were in high school, you couldn't really play in the high school band because that was extracurricular for one. And for two, you'd have to go to football games. And much of the repertoire was either holiday related or patriotic. So why bother? Unless, of course, you wanted to sound praise in a full accord, which honestly doesn't sound like much fun to me. Sing, sing, sing. Sing, damn you! Louder! Loud, let the new song ring. I mean, really, how is any of this new? This isn't new. Jehovah's been demanding constant praise since day one, with mandatory joy. I guess the new song is the same as the old song? Sing, sing, sing. I can't hear you. Jehovah now is king. Wait, hasn't he always been king? When was he not king? But if he was already king, how could he just now become king? Isn't that what the mandatory joy is all about? And what about Jesus? I give up. Let the mighty sea and all that therein is roar praise. Let those on the earth now exulting voices raise. The hell are they trying to say here? All that therein is? That doesn't even make sense. They could have said all that is therein, or even everything therein, or even everything inside, or any number of other things that might have actually made sense. But no, instead we have this random word salad that we're expected to sing at an unreasonable pitch. In 2009, this was changed to let the mighty sea and all therein resound with praise, which is a little better. At least it makes sense, but still I don't get the underwater praising. That's just bizarre. And why specifically are sea creatures supposed to be so damn happy? I mean, what impact does any of this same old rulership have on your average lobster or dolphin or sea urchin? Oh, and now we're roaring praise. Good boy! This is getting ridiculous. To exult is to feel or show triumphant elation or jubilation. Wow. They're really beating a dead horse, aren't they? The beatings will continue until morale improves. In 2009, the second part was changed to join with Earth's creation, exulting voices raise. But who's joining? I mean, aren't we all supposed to be part of the creations on Earth? But wait a minute, though. This says Earth's creations. So apostrophe S can also mean possessions. So what did Earth create? Guys, this isn't actually aligned with your beliefs. You know that, right? Let the floods rejoice and let the rivers clap their hands. Hills and mountains also sing praises in all lands. Y'all, geographical features and weather events are not sentient. This is the 21st century, and I'm a little disappointed that you don't know this. What's next? Trying to placate Zeus to stop a lightning storm? Jehovah's Witnesses, y'all aren't even supposed to believe in stuff like this. And even if floods were sentient, I don't think they would be particularly jubilant. I mean, most of the floods I've ever seen have been rather angry and dangerous. And I would think that rivers clapping would likewise be less than a joyful experience. In 2009, they must have realized that floods are actually natural disasters and thus would not be overly happy, so they changed this line to, let the land rejoice and let the rivers clap their hands. Mountains, hills, and valleys sing praise in all the lands. Now, how on earth are mountains and hills and valleys supposed to sing praises, and why? How does Jehovah not have enough praise and adulation by now? How is there no acknowledgement of how boring this would get after a very short period of time? And what does it say about a supposedly almighty creator of the universe that he is so freaking needy that he has to be constantly reassured all the time and told how great and wonderful he is, even by inanimate objects? I mean, that's a lot of needy right there. Sing. No. Sing. Sing. Lord, let the new song ring. Sing. No way. Sing. No. Sing. I'm not doing it.